Hello, my name is Heidi Ropa and I'm teaching a yoga class at St. Francis House on UW-Madison's campus, and I welcome you to join me. We're going to begin just with a basic grounding, and then we'll move into some asana. So this is just a little picture of what class would be like. Obviously we would take more time with each element when we're in a full hour class. So why don't you join me seated? So find a chair or a comfortable seated position, possibly putting a blanket underneath you to elevate the hips a little bit. And then just allow yourself to kind of arrive. Allow yourself to feel your body on the earth or on the chair, noting the landmarks of the body, the two sitting bones, feeling that sense of grounding. With your eyes, you can either allow them to soften and take the gaze toward the floor, or if you're comfortable, the eyes can be closed. And just allowing yourself to begin to unwind some of the habitual tension that might be carried in your body right now. Just noting the tension release across your forehead, and your eyes, and your cheekbones. Allow your roof of the mouth to be soft as the tongue relaxes on the floor of the mouth. Unhinge the jaw. Allow the throat to soften. And feel your shoulders resting down, your elbows hanging out of the ears. Let the hands rest comfortably on your lap. And just noting your breathing. Just noting how you're showing up. And being attentive to where the breath is most prominent. In the nose, nostrils, in the chest, or maybe in the belly. Taking the next 3 breaths just to notice. Notice where the breath feels free and where the breath feels restricted. It's in this practice together as the body moves. Begin to notice how we can allow those areas that are restricted and tight to begin to unwind. You can begin to feel a fullness and a letting go with each breath. Feel this full breath in. Allow the exhale to be long, all the way to the end. And we're going to begin to bring these elements of grounding, softening of tension, and breath into the asana practice, into the yoga postures. So coming now onto hands and knees. To do some kind of movement that begins to awaken the spine. So starting with a cat-cow movement, but we'll begin with an awareness of moving from the tailbone. So begin to curl the spine by taking the tailbone between, so you could thread it between the thigh bones, and then tenting between the shoulder blades, letting the head hang long as you come into your cat pose. Full breath in here, full exhale. On your next inhale, turning the tailbone up and allowing the whole spine to ripple. Taking the gaze up as you come into your cow pose, collarbones broad. And just be making these movements with the breath as you exhale, coming into your cat pose. As you inhale, coming into the cow pose. Beginning the movement from the base of the spine and letting the whole movement move up to the neck. Allows for full release. Inhaling, tailbone, lower back, middle back, collarbones broad. Exhale. threading the tailbone between the thighs and tenting between the shoulder blades. From here, just some organic movements. Begin to move into the hips. Moving the hips back toward the heels. 2 more of these, breathing in and out. And then moving back into your table. We'll take the right leg, extend it back, stretching through the calf, extend the crown of the head forward, feeling a full length in the spine. From here, crossing the right foot over to the left side of the mat. And just taking the gaze back toward the right foot. Full breath into the right side body. A full exhalation. Feeling that stretch through the hip. And we'll bring the right foot back. Drop the right knee. Inhale and extend. Feeling a nice stretch through the left calf as you extend the crown forward. Inhaling and exhaling. Keep the ribs drawn in. Take the left foot to the outside of the mat, just turning the head, feeling nice open space along the left side ribs. Inhale and exhale. We'll move the left knee back down to the mat and just taking the hands one full hand length forward. We'll tuck the toes under and we'll come into our first downward facing dog. And here I'm just inviting a nice long length in the spine as the head hangs toward the earth. So often we might come in this pose and put more of the pressure on the wrists as we try to straighten the legs. So here just bending through the knees and then take the hips way back so you can feel that nice extension through the spine. Gaze coming between the shins, full breath in. Follow your exhalation all the way through. Take the gaze forward, walk the feet forward to the hands to fold. Walk the feet wide on the mat, bend through the knees, and then just cradle the elbows in the hands as you come forward. Bend the knees generously to give yourself a nice length in the lower back as you're releasing. Let every breath move into the space between the lower back vertebrae. Nice release, full breath into the belly. Really exhale. Releasing the arms down, we'll walk the feet in. Pressing through the feet, inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Ground through your feet, inhale, come all the way up, lifting and lengthening the ribs away from the hips. And exhale, we'll bring the hands down at our side. And move through a sun salutation, hands at heart center. Inhale, reach and lengthen up. Exhale, bending forward. Inhale, as you bring the hands on the shins, reach through the crown. Feel the belly moving in. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to downward facing dog. Let the head hang so you can feel the space between the shoulder blades releasing. Your next exhale, come to the top of a push-up plank pose. Some will lower from knees, some will lower from plank, coming all the way down. Thumbs at the side ribs. Press through the top of the feet. Inhale, curling up in a baby cobra, as though you could move from the space between the shoulder blades. Exhale, lowering. We'll take 2 more of these. Inhale. And exhale. Inhaling. And exhale as you come down, tuck the toes under. We'll move back into plank and taking the hips back into our downward facing dog. Full breath in. Length of the exhale, riding it all the way through to the end. And taking the gaze forward, stepping the feet forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, folding. Grounding through the feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Then exhale, hands at heart center. Move into the hips as we move into Warrior Two. So turning the left toes out toward the top of your mat and then taking the right heel, reaching it toward the back. Hands at the hips, exhaling, moving with the breath, exhaling and inhaling. Next time you come into the bent knee position in Warrior Two, bringing hands to heart center. As the palms come to press into each other, feeling how the shoulder blades snug onto the back. From that place of stability, extend the arms, taking the gaze over the left fingertips. Full breath in through the extension of the arms. And your exhale, dropping that right arm back. We're going to reach and extend through the left arm. Just breathing into the left side ribs. And your next exhalation, moving back through Warrior Two. Tipping from the hips, so we're going to go deeper into the hips this time. And then reaching and extending that right arm up and over to come into an extended side angle. We're going to rotate through the rib cage and take the gaze into the inner arm. Feel how your grounding through the feet supports the pose. Follow the exhale all the way through. On the next in-breath, coming back up, we'll move to the other side. So just taking those right toes now toward the front of your mat. Take the left heel toward the back. And keeping those hips lifted, we'll exhale, moving in to our Warrior Two. Inhale, straightening the knee. Beginning to find that movement of breath with the movement in the body. Exhaling, grounding, inhaling. Next exhale, bringing hands to heart center as you come into Warrior Two. You can stay right here, just finding a balance in the feet as they're grounding down. Feel your arches lifted. You might work with arms extended, and taking the gaze over the right fingertips. The left arm back down, reach and extend through the right arm. And just a little curve over as you take the gaze back toward the left foot. Allowing the breath to move into the right side ribs. Next exhalation, moving back through Warrior Two. We'll move into the hips to set up for a side angle. The in-breath, inhale, lengthen, revolving the rib cage. Feel how deeply planted the left foot is, the left rim of the foot. And then feel the extension through the arm. Breathe into the whole side body. Ground through your feet. Inhale, coming back up. And then we'll stand with our legs still apart. Take the heels a little wider than the front of the toes. And we'll set up for a fold. Inhale, lift the sternum, take the gaze up. Exhale, come forward into a fold. I'm just going to come onto spider fingertips here, walking forward a bit with the hands, and then tenting a little bit, just like you did in the cat pose, to feel how the space between the shoulder blades can receive the breath. Head hangs. See if you can feed the breath intentionally into the space between the shoulder blades. Inhaling, just like in cat pose, and exhaling. Moving more deeply into the shoulder blades, palm of the left hand on the floor or a block, keeping the hips steady and stable. We'll inhale and sweep the right arm up, take the gaze up, exhale, flowing the arm back down. Inhaling, twisting, exhaling and releasing. And feeling how you're strengthening your core even here as you keep the hips steady. One more breath in, sweeping the arm up. And exhale, planting the right hand on the mat, on the floor. Belly draws in, inhale. Revolving at the rib cage. Exhale, releasing the arm down. Inhaling and exhaling. As the left palm comes down on the ground, we'll inhale, bringing the hands on the hips, come all the way up. And bringing the feet together, standing at the top of the mat. Inhale, reach and extend. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to downward facing dog. Top of the push-up, come to a plank. Exhale, lower down. This time your choice of a baby cobra or an upward dog. Exhale, press through the palms, take the hips way back, feel a nice lengthening through the spine as the head hangs and the gaze comes between the shins. Full breath in, full exhalation. I'm going to bring the knees down on the mat. Let's set up for a little more release between the shoulder blades. So this is a little shorter than what we'd usually do in a full class. I just want to bring you into some calming poses that will release, again, that tension that we hold through our respiratory muscle, the diaphragm, and we'll give you some release between those shoulder blades from all that time at the computer. So coming on to our side, coming onto your right side, just have you take your thigh bones up toward your chest. So not so much at your hip length, but up toward your chest. Stacking the feet, and then bringing that right arm, palm facing up, left palm closing, like closing a book, left palm on the right. From here, we're going to open up into a twist. There'll be a nice release through the middle back. So as you inhale, starting to bring the left arm open and then extending it all the way over toward the left side of your mat. You might take your gaze in that direction. For most of us, we'll find that the arm is hovering in space. So we could put a pillow, a blanket, something underneath it. For now, it's okay if it's just in the air. Just paying attention to the breathing through the rib cage. So we're twisting in the rib cage here. Releasing through that middle back. Just explore your breathing. Being attentive to the breath in the twist. And notice where there's restriction and where there's ease. You may notice that it changes.
you stay in the posture, attentive to your breathing. Next in-breath, we'll inhale, bringing the left arm back to meet the right. And then we're just going to take the same pose on the other side. So coming over to the left side body. Really important here, knees not at the hips, but way up, because we're going to move that twist into the rib cage. Left arm rests on the floor, right palm comes to stack. On the in-breath, we'll inhale and take the right arm all the way over to the right side of the mat. For some of you, if it's comfortable, you can hold on to the feet. And then breathing here. Gaze might come and extend toward the right arm. Finding an ease in the belly as you breathe in and out. Next in-breath, we'll inhale, bringing the right arm back over, stack on the left. And then just to finish out our practice, we're going to take the thigh bones into the chest for a squeeze. Take a full breath in. Feel the ribs moving into the thighs. Allow the exhale to fully release. And then maybe the most neglected but most important part of our practice is coming into Shavasana. So as you come into Shavasana, I'll just cue you. If your eyes are closed or just soft, just feeling the weight of your heels, the weight of your legs, the weight of your pelvis, spine, shoulder blades, and the weight of your head resting on the earth. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to spending a full hour with you in the future as we practice together.